Tricks talk.
Yes, good afternoon.
And so far, as the live event goes, it's just Phil and I.
You're looking at us.
Because as we've been discussing, the topic finding common ground is a dud.
Yep.
We're just going to say, call it what it is.
Does not seem to be much interest out there in finding common
We didn't
ground.
get
At least
very
today.
many sign-ups. We didn't have people waiting. Of course, so whatever it is, well, but we're going to analyze that a bit. We're in search of message because we do. Many of you know that we have a way of communicating with folks.
Looks all like this.
But, call it the ACT matrix. Not very many people want to click and come learn about that. Solving difficult relationships. That one was fairly popular, but then again,
Yes.
that's not what we're looking for either.
No.
We're looking for something that gets it into the water supply. So it's relatively viral, but it needs to kick off more. So we're searching for it. But you live and learn, especially marketing is all about trying out something. And
Put stuff out there.
Now, what's different than many other things is then you're honest about what works and doesn't work. Obviously, finding common ground is not. Sounds good, but people don't want to click on it. Now, I would imagine people click due to emotion. And, I think finding common ground sounds like hard work. Maybe.
Yeah. It's like you're going to have to do something.
Yeah, so they don't. Or they don't want to find common ground.
Could be.
We don't know. But we will obviously, especially if somebody shows up in another minute or so.
We'll ask them. We'll ask them. And if you come to this crowdcast later on a replay, you could chat in as well.
Well, yeah, and add in your 2 cents worth of what the message, get people interested in looking at this stuff.
And discussing it.
Now, we chose finding common ground because, well, you can find some common ground here and there. Now, with that said, we're not trying to find common ground with people who are denying reality and stuff like that.
There's no common ground to be found there.
No, we're not that. We are realists, and so sometimes it just becomes untenable to find common ground. It just does. And so you choose to differ, and sometimes you end up in fisticuffs and stuff.
Yeah, or walking away.
Or just walking away or whatever. But let's say, amongst, a political party, whichever one it would be, within that, you want to find common ground within it so then they can vote together as a bloc. That's the idea of a political party. So once again, you're on messaging.
Yeah.
How do you message about such things? Yeah. And ours is how do you message in such a way that it piques people's interest in taking a look at the 4 quadrants. Who's important, shared purpose, and yucky stuff. Now, we know that once people are engaged in it and do it, they just love it. They just think it's great. But getting there is, we just need to find a better message. So we'll work on it. We're not giving up on it.
No.
Buddhist keep word. And it's words, obviously. Got to use a few words.
Some combination.
And what does the one sentence persuasion course tell us? It tells us, I had it up and looking at it.
Oh, were you looking at it earlier?
Yeah, I brought it back up. Would do anything for those who encourage their dreams, justify their failures, allay their fears, confirm their suspicions, and help them throw rocks at enemies. As much as, and I already mentioned it, as I read those, it's like, man, Donald Trump is so good at that.
Mm-hmm. He really is.
And so, amongst the MAGA crowd, he has used that to work them into their common ground, which you can like it or not like it, but they do.
Oh, they stayed pretty solid on that common ground.
Well, and even more so, like the more he gets indicted, the more money they send him.
Yep.
It's very united amongst that MAGA Republican crowd. And think about it, folks, just in case you didn't know about the one sentence persuasion. It's 27 words. People will do anything for those who encourage their dreams, justify their failures, allay their fears, confirm their suspicions, and help them throw rocks at their enemies. That runs it all together. Later on, he divides it up into the 5 different things, which is encourage dream, justify failures, to allay fears, confirm suspicions, 4, and help them throw rocks at their enemies, 5. So there's 5 points. And so you might only need one of those, 1 or 2 or 3 or whatever. So it's not that you have to have all of them. Well, if you choose out one of those or so and then listen a little bit to somebody like Donald Trump, and you'll hear it. Make America great again.
Make America great again. Now there's encouraging dreams right there.
Encouraging dreams. Justify their failures. It's not your fault. It's the deep state conspiracy. Okay.
They did this to you.
And then allay their fears. Don't worry, whatever, we can beat them, whatever. Goes back to the deep state, confirm their suspicions.
Yes, I knew it all along. I knew that people were just looking to do me wrong.
And think January 6th, help them throw rocks at their enemies.
Yep. We got the message, and we're going to sally up the street there.
Sally forth and go do it. So that, okay. So we're not advocating you become MAGA Republican.
No,
that's not it. We're just pointing out where, cult leaders and Hitler, Mussolini, all kinds of people used that stuff, those 5 elements. And Hitler damn near took over the world. So, it's a two-edged sword. Either anybody can pick them up and use them, whether you're for democracy or against democracy, you can pick these persuasion things up and use them. So in that case, then it gets into a battle of that the people picking it up for good, the good guys on the side of the Lord of the Rings pick it up for good. But then the bad guys get a hold of it too.
Right.
So, nobody has joined us, Phil.
No, they have not.
This takes the cake for the duddiest crowdcast we've ever done.
If you've arrived, welcome.
We've finally found the bottom.
Yes.
We've had some.
This is not a one-sentence persuasion kind of thing today, apparently.
We've had some slightly less nutty ones.
Right.
This takes the cake. Which is it's interesting. It's just people. I think common ground. It sounds when I got to thinking about it, it's hard work,
Yeah. It takes effort.
and myself included. You know, and it takes mental effort.
Yeah.
Not only
You
that.
have to be seeking something.
And we just check out. We're like, that's
Yeah.
too hard to work. I don't want
Yeah.
to do.
It's easier to do the work of checking out than it is to seek something that's more ultimately satisfying in the long run.
And in this case, the folks
Check it out.
they checked out. That is, they went upper left,
Yeah.
did not click, and they did not show up.
You don't even have to vote with your feet. You just don't even vote. You just don't even show up.
Which is the
Easy
thing
mistake.
about all of this stuff on the net. Many of our votes are done in silent. We just don't click on it.
Right.
So we will work on.
Yep.
Well, we'll work on it, think on it, cogitate on it.
Yeah.
I looked at Taylor Swift's song titles. They weren't helpful. So that wasn't it.
I think it's because she's the one who's singing them. I think
Yeah,
that has
there's
nothing to
something else in that message. By the way, folks, I am not a Taylor Swift fan.
Right.
However, she's a megastar.
She's got a good message.
Right. So how did that messaging?
When she talks, people listen.
Right.
When she writes a song, people buy it.
Right. But it's not the song title. Not by themselves. Something else is going on there.
Yep.
I don't know. I'll be thinking on it long and hard. But in the meantime, folks, if you do want to support our efforts to do this, get the matrix out to the world so that people can have civil conversations. They can, well, have a little easier time in this troubled life.
Yeah.
It's great. We'll keep doing. We'll keep plugging away. But do you want to continue going? We're 15 minutes in with nobody showing up.
I don't see anybody. So I think that for today, we have done it. Shown up as we usually do. And we will continue to seek ways to get the message across, to find common ground.
We will.
And we have a way. We actually do have a way. Let's go back to it. We do have this way here.
Oh yeah, it's straight. It's simple and straightforward. The problem with, but especially maybe in the end, it's not so simple, but it is always straightforward.
Yeah, very straightforward.
And people want complexity. Even Blair, in his thing about the one sentence persuasion, says that people want complexity.
Yeah.
And so they ignore the straightforward messaging, simple messaging, he calls it, and go for the complex.
Yeah.
Now, I would agree with some people that we said, if you want to convince somebody, don't go fighting against whatever they believe in. One, you're just going to repeat what they believe in, which is just going to reinforce it.
Advancing their cause.
Yeah. So, it's like, okay, so, and you say, what's Kevin talking about in a political realm? I'm for something and somebody else is against something. And I come out and say, well, so-and-so is against X. Well, I just repeated their message for them.
Right.
Just reinforced their message. And I disagree with it. And it just goes nowhere from there.
No.
So that's not what we're looking for. Looking for a more elegant way to persuade folks. We'll get it. We'll work on it. In the meantime, we'll go have a weekend. What should we do on Monday? I don't know. I'll have to think on it.
More percolating over the weekend here on this.
Percolate. We'll percolate on it for sure. See what we can do. In the meantime, we'll go take
Right?
a nap or something.
Yeah, yeah. Have a little bit of fun. Hang out with your important people if you get an opportunity.
I'll go hang out with my important people. I'm going to go see some dinosaurs, I guess, or at least dinosaur bones or something.
Oh, nice.
Sunday with the grandkids. So
That sounds cool.
it was very cool.
Yeah.
There was a lot of entertainment going on in my life. I was at the musical 9 to 5, Brunswick.
Yeah.
last night.
We're going to a coffee house tonight to listen to some music and someone.
Is that the old traditional ones where they smoke dope in the back room?
Well, it's kind of a bringing it back to the old beatnik coffee house.
That was the old beatnik coffee
Yeah.
houses, right?
I don't think Jack Kerouac and crew will be there.
Yeah, exactly. The beat poet. The beat
And I
poet.
would seriously doubt with this crowd whether there's going to be any illegal substances going on.
Well, that was the nature of the coffee houses back in the day.
And I don't think it's going to roll on till the wee hours of the
I was
morning.
going to say, and then you got to stay there.
Now,
until-
everybody's going to want to be home early. This is the updated 2023 version.
Yeah.
Got to be, and the key is there's got to be good coffee, which this place has great coffee,
Oh, well, that's
and good snacks, and they have some really good snacks.
no. I was a kid back then, and we went to a place that called itself a coffee house, and they didn't have good coffee.
See, that's the problem with these places. They advertise themselves as coffee houses, and you go there, and you drink the coffee, and go, well, this coffee is not very tasty.
Really, it was really. I
I mean,
mean,
the people are nice. It's a nice ambiance, but
yeah, but it was awful coffee.
yeah,
It was like,
and you want to, as it's a local place. You want to support it, and like, I'm going to go home and make the coffee that I got in the cupboard.
I'll go make some good coffee. So yeah, my one adventure to a coffee house, they didn't have good coffee, and I'm not much for listening to poetry. So, I'm in the prose, the sentences that make sense.
Prose and song.
I like song. I do like song. There's no doubt about it. Been in a few musicals myself. Obviously, I got guitars back then.
Yep.
There was a really good musician, and I was saying, man, I was on stage when I was a kid. I couldn't come up with the song. Since then, I have, but I had to search, and I said, I was pushing a broom, pushing, oh, trailers for sale. And he said, that's it. You got it. You got the groove.
Simple and straightforward.
And then it was, and the song is, folks, King of the Road.
Yep.
And by Roger Miller. And I was out on stage pushing the broom.
Yep. And now you're making me think about part of this common ground and engagement. People want to be entertained.
That is, oh, well, there's another Trump thing. He's entertaining.
He's an entertainer. And
You know
then
what? That's
when
the
you're
big difference between him and DeSantis.
Yeah.
DeSantis is a
oh
crap.
man, it's like a show whenever he shows up.
Yep.
Like yesterday, people were just watching the car caravan. You didn't even see him. The people were watching the car caravan to see where the car caravan
Well,
was,
just in case there was a show.
just in case he rolled down the window or something. Exactly. So, yes, entertainment leads to then people have an experience. So back to people that go see Trump or people that go see Taylor Swift. It's a common experience. You're all there together having this experience. And then of course, then you are more susceptible to whatever the message of that experience.
The message is right. I guess that's how you start a cult.
I think so.
Well, I don't really want to start a
No,
cult.
we're not. Now we're gonna try a different way.
No, we're gonna do something else.
But we do want to have people have a common experience, which is that's what happens when we show people our point of view. Is people end up having a common experience
They do.
over and over and over again.
And they enjoy the heck out of it.
Yeah, they all say the same thing. Oh, this is cool. This is great. This is useful. That's the language that we hear all the time. So the trick is how to get more people having that common experience.
We're going to keep working on it.
And that's what we have to ponder. And you folks out there can ponder it too. If you have any suggestions or ideas, put something in the chat, or you can email us. Go on.
Well, whatever we do, we're not going to try and find common ground.
No. We're putting that one to rest. This is you're watching. Do the experiment to find out what works and what doesn't, right? So then you do the experiment, you run it, and you go, all right, what have we learned from this experiment?
That doesn't work.
And we have learned that finding common ground is. So that'll be over here.
Yep. Oh, well, we'll work on it. We'll come up, but I do think we'll come up with some kind of snazzier title on.
Yes. That's the word, snazz. A title with snazz to it.
And if that one doesn't work, fine. We'll do a snazzy title on Wednesday, and we'll just keep going for titles.
Roll on out.
Because we got this venue to try out titles. So we'll do that. Okay, well, let's go.
Yeah, I think we've done it. Okay.
Bye-bye.
Take care.